Welcome back to Teresa's Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. I have an awful garbage filthy mouth, so viewer discretion is advised. But if you're not into that or weird shit in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to X out the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. Hello my little coconut shrimps. Listen, I'm in a feisty mood today. There hasn't been a lot of exciting makeup releases that have come out this year. Granted, it's only been 2 months, but I think for every good release, it's often followed up with, what is this? Who asked for this? How did this get okay?
I need to see somebody's manager.
And that's what today is all about, Charlie Brown. I narrowed it down to the top 5 makeup products that I just think are ugly or boring or both. But of course, here is my PSA. This is all in good fun. If you actually like one of these products, that's fine. I love that for you. We all know makeup is subjective. Just know that you have horrible taste. You do. I'm kidding. Not really. No, really, this is all in good fun. Anyway, before I get all Andy Rooney on you, a word from today's sponsor. Thank you again to HelloFresh for continuing to sponsor my garbage antics. I appreciate it. If you've never heard of HelloFresh, they're America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh allows you to get fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Although I've been using this service for years, I first got acquainted with their meal kits on my quest to be a better human by learning self-sufficiency. When you have a partner that is the best thing ever and makes delicious things from scratch, you want to be able to bring something to the table, and not metaphorically speaking. And that's why I love HelloFresh. They offer a wide variety of quick and easy recipes, including 20-minute meals, easy cleanup, and low prep options. Also, by increasing your HelloFresh box servings, you can easily use leftovers for lunches. No more bland sandwiches ever again. HelloFresh offers so many recipes to choose from each week that you'll never get bored. And the recipes are so good and easy that they become staples in our home. There's not a week that goes by where we don't eat either Thai coconut meatballs or Szechuan pork and green bean stir fry. And now that we moved to Florida, let's just say the food here, well, it's different. So while we struggle to find good takeout, it's actually really a blessing because HelloFresh saves the day. Getting a home-cooked meal on the table every day is an accomplishment worth celebrating. So let HelloFresh help with 50 weekly menu and market items to choose from, so you can think less about what's for dinner and more about fun stuff, like, ugly makeup packaging. HelloFresh has more 5-star reviews than any other meal kit, so you know you'll get something delicious. Trust me, the bulgogi pork tenderloin is life-changing. So if you're looking to try something delicious, go to HelloFresh.com and use code Teresa'sDead16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Again, go to HelloFresh.com and use code Teresa'sDead16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Thank you again to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. Now, okay, I think it's only fair to start with this item just because, kind of like pairs with the sponsor, right? After all, it's a food-themed makeup item. So let's talk about the Oscar Mayer Hydrogel Sheet Mask. Did I purchase it? Yes. Why, you ask? Look at me, I'm trash. Obviously, I'm gonna purchase it. It's on brand for me to have cold cuts on my face. I imagine people who don't like me think that that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. And I mean, you're not wrong, except I don't fuck with Oscar Mayer swill. I'm a boar's head girl, okay? So get fucked. I purchased this for me and my husband, Paul Giamatti. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up in the corner. But basically, we just did a little mini Q&A about our recent move up from New York. Everything is new to me, okay? Sometimes I say north, not south. I don't know. I'm confusing myself every day since moving here. It's wild. Anyway, I'm gonna link that video up in the corner if you are so interested in watching us just be weird. It's fun. Now, in any case, was it weird? Yes. Yes, it was incredibly strange. I think online, in a way, like, it doesn't look horrible. Like, it looks weird, but there's something kind of kitschy about it, and with the low price tag of like $4.99, it was kind of like a no-brainer. Like, yes, you have to get this. It's so ugly that it's kind of cute, you know what I mean? So, listen, we got it, right? When I described the mental prison I was in when putting it on, ooh, oh boy, like, it Yeah, it was a moment. You know what's funny? I think if anything, the mask, which is supposed to bring moisture, actually removed moisture from my face. Listen, my skin is pretty much a dry husk made up of soiled diapers and Virginia Slims. And I was hoping that this would make me wet. I said what I said. Oh God, this did not make me wet. Anywho, listen, this product is fucking trash, okay? The actual face mask, like, it's kind of terrifying. Bologna in itself is kind of like pink and gray, or depending on if you went to public school, very gray. And if you know, you know. Shout out to Queens Public Schools. We only know gray lunch meats. Anyway, the mask, however, was very, very pink, almost like a weird flesh color. If anything, it should have been marketed as like a Hellraiser Cenobite mask. And in a way, if it was marketed as that, it would have been less terrifying and I would have been emotionally prepared for it. If it was a Hellraiser mask, you bet your sweet ass I would have bought at least a warehouse full of them and I would wear them every day and just terrorize the shit out of my neighbors. I would be the Florida woman, okay? But alas, it wasn't. Instead, it was just a weird flesh mask that offered nothing, just nothing. And it didn't even stay on. It was like wet, but it couldn't attach to my face. I hated every second of it. I really did. I guess my question is like, who asked for this? Like, I know, you know, there's been like a lot of push for food themed makeup items. I get it, but I don't think anybody in their right mind was clamoring for fucking lunch meat on the face. Now, if they came out with an eyeshadow palette, just saying, I'd probably buy it. We all know it'd be terrible unless it's boar's head. That's pretty much the whole gist of this video. Trust boar's head, not Oscar Meyer. Anyway, I can't decide if this is the scariest face mask I've ever seen or Chucky from the Rugrats. Either way, I'm terrified. So in keeping with the weird theme, let's talk about Physicians Formula. Physicians Formula put out a champagne highlighter in February instead of like December. Missed opportunity. Anyway, I kind of feel like this brand is in a very weird like identity crisis. In the past, and still now, all of their overrated coconut scented products would kind of come in this like wavy configuration, right? Kind of giving you the vibe of like where the sea goes to die. You know, like anytime you ever rent an Airbnb close to the beach, they would just like fill it with like, this is all like beach themed. Like that's what it was. Like just kind of like not cool. I hate this. And now they kind of marketed their shitty products with these more like fun pan embossings. Recently they came out with like these little pie things, which is kind of cute, or even like these little faces on the bronzer. They upgraded their packaging. But you have to remember though, when you look at that and you kind of look at this champagne flute, right? Or even their older products, you have to remember this is still lipstick on a pig. Like, yeah, you might look cute, but your contents are garbage. And not even the fun kind, not even the me kind. Now, this one, the champagne flute is really weird. And I cannot be the only one that imagines that this looks like two little chicken legs. And if you squint your eyes long enough, it kind of looks like you're looking into a chicken's asshole. You know, like, I mean, it's kind of like Magic Eye. Do you remember that as a kid? Except it's a chicken's asshole. I'm pretty sure that's what was in the Magic Eye. I personally have never seen a Magic Eye come to life. I would concentrate the fuck out of it, but I would never see anything. People saw sailboats, said this is my Magic Eye. Physicians Formula chicken asshole highlighter. In any case, I kind of wondered like what's the story behind it. I feel like they just asked their intern to find a royalty-free picture of a champagne flute and then just kind of take one of them and then slightly turn it. Now it would make more sense if both of the champagne flutes were turned, right? As if they're clinking together, but instead, except one is straight up and the other one's kind of clinking. So it's like you're force clinking somebody or you're clinking to nobody, which is even more fucking depressing. In any case, I don't like this, but in a way I kind of feel like it's just on brand. I don't know. I just hope that they just find whatever they're looking for. I just don't know what that is, but hopefully they find it. Now, and speaking of just like shitty, weird releases, this one kind of pains me because we're gonna talk a little bit about Flower Beauty. Listen, y'all, I love Flower Beauty, but when this was announced, I was really fucking confused. One of the ugliest things to come out from this brand is this palette, and it's the Charlie's Angels palette. First of all, stop making like 2000s happen, okay? Like it's the 90s or nothing. We left that shit in the past for a reason. I'm not ready to deal with low-rise jeans, okay? Like stop it. That said, How is the brand going to put like the lowest amount of effort into the outside packaging, but also kind of the inside too, right? The outside looks like kind of a copy and paste from the actual VHS cover, except they've just removed all three of them. But the inside, ma'am, I have questions. First of all, the color story is pretty much every circular Tarte palette that has ever existed, except more cheap looking, by making the palette design like a cross between the Game of Life spinner and that weird little plastic thing that you find in pizza pies. Now don't get me wrong, I'm an Ann, okay? Like I am a fucking Ann to my core. I love boring basic bullshit. But this is straight up putting me into a fucking coma. Except I'm never gonna wake up. I'm living my own hell when I look at this palette. No ma'am. But what I don't get is why? Yes, I know Drew Barrymore owns Flower Beauty, but like, why? Who asked for this? Also, how are you gonna make a character that has so much intensity and pair it with shades of paint that you find in a walk-in clinic? Like, who the fuck thought that was okay? No, 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 no. Now the next one is from Estee Lauder. Do you know what I love about Estee Lauder? I forget they exist until they release this fucking collection every year. I like how Estee Lauder is trying to make the Bronze Goddess like the same status as
Charlotte Tilbury's
Pillow Talk or NARS Orgasm or even Too Faced Better Than Sex. The Bronze Goddess palette is the essence of Groundhog's Day. If this looks new, we're getting an early spring. If this seems like last year's and a year before that and a year before that and a year before that, we're gonna get 6 more weeks of winter. It is what it is. And yet we have another brand taking a page out of Tarte's book and releasing a palette that's weird band designs, except this brand has the balls to charge $60 for it. The color story is a neutral with a pop of blue, but even the lightest shades look dusty and musty. And I question if there is any pigment. Doesn't look like it from here, folks. Again, I'm a boring bitch who loves, you know, my Ugg boots and my pumpkin spice lattes, and even I'm napping through this release. There's also in this collection a 3-in-1 palette. Who doesn't want to have all 3 products mixed into one? And no matter what you do, everything will just look like a sparkly, patchy brown. Sounds so appealing. The pan design in a way kind of looks like a blender mixing a fruit smoothie together. And the longer I look at it, the more I want Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Peanut Butter Paradise is delicious, just saying. Anyway, I think the bronzer could have payoff, and that's what I thought until I Googled it. And then I saw that it just looked like just kicked the shit out of somebody. It has much more of like a bruise look to it, so who wants that? Who asked for that? No. But you know what though, I give you credit, Estee Lauder. I forget about you all year until you release this. Last but not least, it's not ugly, or dare I say boring makeup products, because that's pretty much the common theme of today, without adding Disney to the list. So the brand Makeup Revolution is at it again, trying to come for ColourPop's crown by releasing yet another boring fucking Disney collaboration. Except this time they're focusing their efforts on the Lion King. Before I even talk about whatever the fuck is going on the outside, the color story is weird, right? If I didn't see a picture of the Lion King on the palette, I would have never assumed the two go hand in hand. And when I think about the Lion King, you know, I kind of think about like, you know, a typical warm tone palette, maybe mixed in with some like earthy tones. I think what's throwing me off is this magenta color, kind of throwing me for a fucking loop. Now granted, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so you know, maybe it does make sense, but I don't think it does. Unfortunately, there's a whole collection, meaning there are several palettes in this collection. Each palette, shit, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And the longer I look at it, the more I don't understand what color stories they're referencing. The swatches look dusty, and the highlighter looks like a matte eyeshadow being swatched. How is that even possible? Like, something is wrong. Something is very, very wrong here. The call is coming from inside the house, okay? But in any case, that's the least offensive thing about it. What the fuck is going on with the outside packaging? How are you going to release the Lion King palette and deck the outside in some weird fucking cheetah print? I swear, if this palette had cold shoulder sleeves, I would have assumed it was a shirt from Torrid. Except somehow, the full Makeup Revolution collection is somehow cheaper than the shirt at Torrid. So I guess kudos to them. Anyway, make that make sense. Like that whole collection is just really fucking wonky. Anyway, so there you have it. Those are some pretty boring and gross makeup products that have come out recently. And I look forward to future releases of more boring, basic bullshit. Again, thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's antics. Now I want to hear from y'all. Let me know down below what have been your ooh, gross makeup products that have come out this year. Let me know because I love hearing from you. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. As always, feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification about all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. To all my beautiful, wonderful patron bubbies, thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, filthy, trashy, really filthy, really gross, really nasty, really disgusting garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do without you, and I love your adorable little delicious faces, and I just want to gobble you all up. If you want to know what's currently on my face and not where you can get these products, everything will be listed in the description box below. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye!